Hello team and welcome to another ATP Geopolitics video with myself, Jonathan MS Pearce. This is a Ukraine war, I don't know, breaking news sort of point of interest video concerning really the crossover between Russia-Ukraine war and the Israel-Palestine conflict. In terms of some kind of ramifications of what's going on in Israel that I think really disturbs me, but also shows how problematic it is for the Russians to claim any kind of moral high ground with a denazification of Ukraine, as was one of their intended purposes for the whole invasion of Ukraine, as according to Vladimir Putin himself. Now, I started off with my videos this morning, my news videos, talking about what was starting to take place in Dagestan. Now, Dagestan is about, I think, 83% Muslim as a region of Russia. And I reported to you in Kazavyurt in Dagestan, a roundup was held on immigrants from Israel. The settlers are mythical, but the roundup was real. In other words, they were trying to round up people that didn't really exist. A crowd of young people began to inspect the hotels in which Israeli refugees were allegedly accommodated. After no one was found, the youth announced that, quote, the Jews were hidden. And in another Caucasian subject of the Russian Federation, Karachay-Cherkessia, a rally was held demanding the expulsion of ethnic Jews from the Republic. This is the Middle Ages with nuclear missiles. So this was what was kind of going on. You had people gathering, demanding the Jews of the area were found and I guess dealt with in some way. And you started seeing stuff like this coming out. Even I am struggling to comprehend how this can happen in a country which incessantly preaches how Russia defeated Nazis in 1945, said Tim White. Yesterday, I wrote about a mob in Dagestan hunting for Jews. Now, this sign is displayed in the hotel. It says, for foreigners and citizens, Israel Jews, entry is strictly prohibited and they do not live here. It's just kind of bizarre sort of anti-Semitic situation that is evident there. So I don't know. It's all pretty problematic, isn't it? Well, it seems to have got way worse now. So in Dagestan, Russia, says Max 23, locals search all cars, demanding evidence from people that they are not Jews. Hundreds of people also gathered at Kaspiysk airport. A plane from Israel was supposed to land there. So let's have a look at this. So this appears to be one of those kind of hysteria moments, mass hysteria, where people get swept along with some collective ideal notion here that, you know, something is wrong, some moral crime has been committed, you know, people being Jews and it's the problem, which I've talked about a lot recently, of the subset fallacy, as I call it, which is, you know, all cats are animals, but not all animals are cats. You know, all Hamas are Palestinians, but not all Palestinians are Hamas. Well, the same can be said for all right-wing, I guess, Israeli government members are Israeli, but not all Israelis are, or not all Jews are Israeli right-wing government officials. Do you know what I mean? So it's this idea that somehow if you are a diaspora Jew or someone escaping what's going on there, or just any kind of Jew around the world, that's you are somehow collectively responsible for something the Israeli government is doing, irrespective of what you think about the Israeli government here. You know, this is deeply disturbing. We have Muslims within the Republic of Dagestan in southwestern Russia, says OSINT Defender, are currently storming the international airport in the region in order to reportedly, quote, kill Israelis and Jews, after rumors began that an Israeli aircraft was preparing to land at the airport. This has been going on for the last several hours, with pro-Hamas supporters having stormed a number of hotels and other public locations across the region in the hunt for Israelis. And again, you know, as I say, this is pretty disturbing. I mean, imagine being a target of these guys. and I'm going to have to turn the sound down to that. I mean, you can hear it is pretty loud. Let's just listen. I'll turn the sound off. So effectively what you are seeing are just huge lynch mobs here that are ready to exact some kind of political revenge for what's taking place in Israel, Gaza Strip, on any Jew that they happen to find. It's pretty scary if you are, as I say, a potential victim of these guys. And I say guys because that's what they predominantly look like. Here we have in Dagestan, a crowd has stormed the building of Machachkala airport in search of Jews from a flight from Tel Aviv. Here, I'll play this to you, just to again give you an understanding. And again, it reminds me of just hysteria. It's just some kind of hysterical response that has grasped people. This is kind of, I mean, we see scenes like this. I'll tell you what it reminds me of. It reminds me of the looting in London. It reminds me of riots in France. It reminds me of January the 6th, the Capitol in the US, that people just get swept up into this fervor that just takes over their rationality. And it's just really destructive. I mean, this is obviously ridiculous, but it's also not morally cool either. Right, a large crowd of aggressive Dagestanis gathered at the Machachkala airport, where a flight from Israel was to land. Russian media. They were checking passports of passengers looking for Israeli citizens and demanding that Jews be expelled from Dagestan. The local police are trying to calm the Dagestanis down, pointing out that they would have joined in the chanting of anti-Semitic slogans themselves, but that the highway needs to be kept open. I mean, goodness me. So the police are like, yeah, we're with you guys, but, you know, someone's got to keep the roads clear. So here they're stopping vehicles to check passports of people. And again, that would just be incredibly scary for anyone. You know, imagine being a Jew in a car there just thinking, right, this ain't looking good. And here we have Minister of National Policy and Religious Affairs of Dagestan, Enrik Muslimov, arriving at the airport. And again, interesting that 100% of the people we're seeing are men. I don't know what that tells you. The Russian National Guard and hundreds of additional security forces have now been deployed to Machachkala International Airport in Dagestan in an attempt to gain control of the Muslim rioters who have now flooded into the airport searching for Israeli passengers. And there you have the riot police turning up. So a lot quieter there now. And then we have just more footage of vehicles looking like they're being searched and whatnot. Allahu Akbar, so on and so forth. So a real fervour has been kicked up here, almost like mass vigilantism, except, you know, the crime of anyone is that they just happen to be, I don't know, ethnically Jewish or believe in Jewish worldviews, but not that they are in any way held responsible for being, for you know, ordering Israeli airstrikes on Gaza Strip. It's just really I just don't like this at all. Worrying footage from Dagestan, again from the airport. Apparently, searches of arriving passengers are being made by a local crowd that gathered after it emerged that a group of Israelis were at the airport. And we have a passport being taken off this chap here. Again, I don't know exactly what is going on, but we'll give it a little bit of a look. He says, I'm Uzbek, but I don't know the Uzbek language, says this chap. I was born in Smolensk. And obviously these guys think he's Jewish. Hey, make sure no one walks past us. Are you trying to effing mess with us here, bitch? Others say, calm down. I've got his passport. There's more question. You wait here until we make a decision. Like this kind of kangaroo court is going to be some kind of fair decision-making process. Please give me back my passport. I'm not running away from you. He says, get his phone. And there's no way any kind of justice is being meted out there in any serious way. This is like mob rules. And then here, just finally, a lynch mob was formed in front of the Flamingo Hotel in Dagestan, Russia, after a rumor was spread that Jews had arrived to stay at the hotel. The crowd dispersed after every room of the hotel was checked for Jews, and the passport of all guests was inspected. And again, similar, really uncomfortable scenes here. We are personally checking all the numbers of the Flamingo Hotel, all the members, I guess. Here is 49. A girl lives there, says this person. Come on. And yeah, you can see, peace be upon you all. Brothers, listen to me. I went into every room of every person I checked. I looked at the passport, I looked at the face. Does the face correspond to the passport? There is no Tama, brothers. Earthquake is coming here. You just need to go home. Good luck to all of you. Well done. So on and so forth. That's all. And I'm not even sure this person is official. He's announcing this from the police vehicle, but I'm not sure he's anything to do with the police. You all need to go home. You are not indifferent, oh devil, that's all. I looked at everything. I personally looked at it. There is no provocation here. Many may know me here. How did you come here to declare war? I saw Tama, so I think that means Jew. I don't know if it was them or not. So on and so forth. It's all just conjecture, and it's just horrific. Anyway, I just wanted to share all of these snippets with you to show, I don't know what to think of all this. Well, I do. It's deeply uncomfortable. There's this groundswell of anti-Israeli feeling as a result of what the Israeli government are deciding to do with regard to Gaza, which is on the back of what Hamas decided to do with regard to Israelis within Israel. And of course, you have the whole historical issue of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict that is such a difficult situation, such a hot mess, and so divisive. But we're getting to the point of such massive polarization, no one can see the nuance at all, that it's just all Palestinians are bad. And I've seen videos of Israeli people saying, right, Palestinian kids aren't worth what Israeli kids are worth. And it's like Israeli people are so horrified by what Hamas has done that they're now painting all Palestinians, as just, kind of dehumanizing them in a sense. And at the same time, an awful lot of people are dehumanizing Israeli people right across the board, not just the Israeli government or the Israeli Defense Forces, like all Israelis. And then all Jews, sort of religious Jews, cultural Jews, diaspora Jews around the world, painted with this kind of same dehumanizing brush that leads to stuff like this. And say what you like about the moral rightness or wrongness of what each side are doing in that conflict in terms of the decision makers is so horrific when you paint all of the people involved in the conflict with the same brush. And that's where it goes. And then the problem is, if you start doing that, then those people that you are painting with the same brush are themselves forced into a polarized position where they're like, well, you're now oppressing me, so I'm going to stand with, Hamas or stand with Netanyahu's government, and it becomes almost the self-fulfilling prophecy. It's a really dangerous melting pot that's going on, this bubbling cauldron of discontent that is, reaching around the world now. There's this groundswell of pro-Palestinian. In Rome, you had the Israeli flag ripped down for the UN building in Rome, and all sorts of stuff going on that is just, my goodness, what a week it's been. What a couple of weeks it's been. It just, not looking good. Anyway, I'm not casting my moral evaluation on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict itself, just the reaction of certain people who are turning into kind of rabid lynch mobs. That is not cool. Anyway, I'll be interested in your opinion. Let me know what you think. Take care of yourselves. Look after each other. Speak to you soon.